Hello children, I hope you are all healthy and strong. Welcome to this special English hour. Here, every day, we will learn something new in a fun and interesting way. Are you ready to have fun? Then okay, let's start our day with a quick tongue twister. Children, let's say a tongue twister together. Do you know what a tongue twister is? Come, please repeat what I am saying with me at least 3 times. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown background. Now do you know why it's called a tongue twister? Come, let's try to say this a little faster and let's say it 5 times. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown. I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. But I believe all of us, while we are trying, will also make a mistake. So children, do try this tongue twister, and if you enjoy it, please also share it with your friends. Children, now I would like to ask you a few questions. Let us share our thoughts and ideas. Children, have you ever had the chance to help someone? I believe you must be helping your parents with the household work. You must be helping your siblings with their homework, or you must have helped your friends at some point or the other, right? Okay, now can you tell me if you have helped someone who has been in great need? Someone like a poor person or a beggar. As a child, I usually gave away my old clothes to poor children. I also shared my books with friends who I knew could not afford to buy new books. In little ways, even as a child, I tried to help people around me. Children, can you tell me, how do you feel when you help someone? It feels good, doesn't it, that we are able to help someone, to bring a smile on their face. So children, how can we help other people? We can help people by doing little things for them. Especially when it comes to poor people, we can always give them our spare clothes, spare books, and even try to collect some money and provide them with ration for their house. Children, it is very important that during these times we help and support each other as human beings. Not just give money to the poor because they are poor, but also treat them with kindness and respect and give them some care. Children, while learning a language, it is very important that we keep learning new words. Now, I would like to share with you a few new words. Please listen to me carefully and note them down in your notebook. We will come across these words in the story that we'll be reading today. The first word is proclamation. 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 The second word is adjudged. 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 The third word is guerdon. 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 The fourth word is mimed. 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 The fifth word is shriveled. 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 Children, let's read a very interesting lesson today. If you have a textbook, please open to page number 57. We will be reading The Plate of Gold. Please point to the words as I read. If you don't have a textbook, please see your TV screens and listen to me carefully. And look out for the new words we just noted earlier. The plate of gold. One day there fell in great Banaras temple court a wondrous plate of gold, whereon these words were writ: To him who loveth best, a gift from heaven. Thereat the priests made proclamation. At the midday hour, each day, let those assemble who for virtue deem their right to heaven's gift the best, and we will hear the deeds of mercy done and so adjudge. The news ran swift as light, and soon from every quarter came nobles and munshis, hermits, scholars, holy men, and all renowned for gracious or for splendid deeds. Meanwhile, the priests in solemn council sat and heard what each had done to merit best the gift of heaven. So, for a year, the claimants came and went. So, children, what happens in this story? In this story, there is a plate of gold that falls from heaven. It falls in a temple court. The priests are amazed looking at the plate. Something is written on that plate. And what is written? It is written that this plate is a gift from heaven for the one who loves God the most. So the temple priests made a proclamation. They announced it to the public that all those people who believe that they have a right over this gift from heaven should assemble in the temple every day at 12 o'clock. And they should share what are the deeds they have done, why they should be given this plate. The temple priests would listen to everyone and then take a decision who should be given the gift from heaven. At last, after a patient weighing of the worth of all, the priests bestowed the plate of gold on one who seemed the largest lover of the race. whose whole estate within the year had been parted among the poor. This man, all trembling with his joy, advanced to take the golden plate, when, lo, at his finger's first touch, it changed to basest lead. All stood aghast, but when the hapless claimant dropped it clanging on the floor, heaven's guardian was again transformed to shining gold. For almost a year, the priests were listening to hundreds of men and women who came forward claiming that the golden plate was theirs for their good deeds. The priests finally decided on one man who had given away all his wealth to the poor. The priest decided that they should give the golden plate to this man. But when this man walked forward and took the plate, immediately the plate turned into lead. The man was shocked, and so were the others. When the plate dropped from his hand, it once again turned into gold. This was very amusing for everyone. Let's read and find out what happens next. So, for another 12 months sat the priests and judged. Thrice they awarded. Thrice did heaven refuse the gift. Meanwhile, a host of poor, maimed beggars in the street lay all about the temple gate in hope to move that love whereby each claimant hoped to win the gift. And well, for them it was, if gold be charity. For every pilgrim to the temple gate praised God, that love might thus approve itself before the test. And so coins rained freely in the outstretched hands. But none of those who gave so much as turned to look into the poor sad eyes of them that begged. So, for another whole year, pilgrims and hermits from all over the place came to the temple to claim the golden plate. The priests sat and listened to each of them. They awarded the golden plate 3 times to 3 different people, but the same thing repeated. As soon as the claimant got the plate from gold turned into lead. Now this puzzled the temple priests. There were lots of beggars that sat outside at the temple gate. They believed that since so many pilgrims were coming to the temple, they would also be kind enough to give them a few coins. The beggars got lots of coins, but none of the pilgrims looked even with the slightest bit of pity at the beggars. No one looked into their sad eyes. And now the second year had almost passed, but still the plate of gold by whomsoever touched was turned to lead. At length there came a simple peasant, not aware of that strange contest for the gift of God, to pay a vow within the temple. As he passed along the line of shriveled beggars, all his soul was moved within him to sweet pity, and the tears welled up and trembled in his eyes. So, for a whole year, the temple priests sat and listened to lots of pilgrims and hermits share their stories. But every time the temple priests awarded the golden plate to someone, it turned into lead. After a long time, there came a simple peasant who was not aware of the contest at the temple. He had just come to the temple to pay a visit to God. On his way to the temple, at the temple gate, he saw lots of beggars. He saw the sad state in which they were, and he felt very upset. Tears rolled down his eyes. Now, by the temple gate, there lay a poor, sore creature, blind and shunned by all. But when the peasant came and saw the sightless face and trembling, maimed hands, he could not pass, but knelt and took both palms in his, and softly said, "O thou, my brother, bear thy troubles bravely. God is good." Then he arose and walked straightway across the court and entered where they wrangled of their deeds of love before the priests. A while he listened sadly, then had turned away, but something moved the priest who held the plate of gold to beckon to the peasant. So he came, not understanding, and obeyed, and stretched his hand and took the sacred vessel. Lo, it shone with thrice its former lustre, and amazed them all. "Son," cried the priest, "rejoice, the gift of God is thine. Thou lovest best." And all made answers, "It is well," and one by one departed. But the peasant knelt and prayed, bowing his head above the golden plate, while o'er his soul, like morning, streamed the love of God. James Henry Lee Hunt. The simple peasant saw in the temple court that the pilgrims were arguing with the priests for a plate of gold. He felt sorry for them and was about to leave the temple. At that time, the priest who was holding the golden plate felt that something moved in him. Something told him to call out to the peasant. He called the peasant, and at once the peasant obeyed and came to the priest. The priest gave the plate of gold to the peasant. As soon as the peasant caught the plate of gold, it started shining 3 times bright. Everyone looked at this. The priest was very happy and told the peasant, "It is because you truly love God that the heavens have given you this gift." Children, I hope you liked this story and also take its message that every time we see someone who is poor or in need, it's not just money that we need to give. It's also a bit of kindness, a bit of care. That is what truly matters. Children, we came across some new words in the lesson that we read today. Come, let's try to understand their meaning. The first word was proclamation. 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 Proclamation means A public statement means proclaiming, telling everyone. Now let's try to frame a sentence using this word. The priests made a proclamation about the golden plate. Next word, adjudged, adjudged, adjudged. To adjudge means to declare. The priests adjudged the pilgrims and declared the winner of the contest. Next word, guerdon, guerdon, guerdon. Guerdon means reward. The golden plate was the guerdon for the most virtuous person. Next word, maimed, maimed, maimed. Maimed means crippled. Maimed beggars sat at the temple gate. Shriveled, shriveled, shriveled. Shriveled means dried up. The leaves of the tree shriveled up in winter. Children, I hope you found this exercise useful, where we look out for words, try to understand their meaning, understand their meaning once again, and try to frame some simple sentences. I hope this helps you remember the word meanings. Children, let's do an activity now. In this activity, we will be filling in the blanks. You will see sentences on your screen with blanks. You will also be given a word beside the blank. You have to find the word from the lesson which has a similar meaning to the word given in the bracket and fill in the blank. Let me show you one example. Stephen Hawking was a dash into brackets famous astrophysicist. Which word has been given to us? Famous is the word given to us. Which word is similar to famous which we can find in the lesson? Yes, the word is renowned. So, the sentence will be, Stephen Hawking was a renowned astrophysicist. Children, just like this, you need to fill in the blanks. Shall we give this a try? Okay, then let's begin. Children, I hope you were able to fill in the blanks. Come, let's have a look at the answers. The government made a dash into bracket announcement about their new taxation policy. The government made a proclamation about their new taxation policy. Everyone stood dash into bracket horrified when the terrible accident took place. Everyone stood aghast when the terrible accident took place. She dash bargained with the hawker to reduce the price. She wrangled with the hawker to reduce the price. Handicapped people should never be dash into bracket ignored and avoided. Handicapped people should never be shunned. Children, I hope you like this activity. Children, I hope you all enjoyed today's session. I would now request you all to please make some time and share the story with your friends and family. Children, I would like to end today's session with a note saying that every person who is kind and good will always be rewarded. Children, till we meet next time, please take care, bye-bye and stay safe.